How's it going, guys? Welcome to the Johnny Arnett channel. Doing something a little bit different today. Today is game day, big day. Luka Doncic is playing his first game back in Dallas as a Los Angeles Laker. I have no idea what to expect from this atmosphere, but this is going to be a big day. I think the biggest game of the year. So I'm here. We're on our way. This is going to be very, very exciting. Hopefully people don't get aggressive towards me and all my purple and gold Laker gear. I'll be putting on my Laker jacket in a little bit. But I am also here with Russell Broderick, my editor, and
It's probably a little close, but what's up, everybody?
also my co-host for our new channel, the Johnny Talks podcast channel. And so yeah, it's going to be crazy. I cannot wait to get there and see what the atmosphere is going to be like. My big question of the day: are people going to be rooting in the stadium? Are people going to be cheering more for their Dallas Mavericks or for Luka Doncic? That's going to be really, really interesting. So, yeah. So I'll see you guys in a little bit.
See AD up there
Yeah.
yelling? You know why?
No.
Just rolled his ankle. Okay, so it's gonna be interesting. We're here a little bit early right now, a few hours till tip off. So I think it's predictions time. I don't know. Everybody wants to see Luka drop like 60 points. We'll see if that actually happens. Yeah. Like I said earlier, the one thing I want to find out, are people going to be cheering more for Luka? Because this is Dallas right now. This is a place in mourning. I'm seeing people, seeing almost as many people in like Luka Doncic jerseys than any other Dallas Maverick right now. Like they're going to celebrate Luka, and I think there's going to be a lot of people cheering whenever number 77 scores for the Lakers. 100%. So we'll see. But predictions, I think it's going to be like I don't know. I think everybody's setting their expectations a little too high. You know, I'll say like 33 points for Luka.
Hi, Luka.
Hi, Luka. Yeah, so I'd say like 33 points, like 10 rebounds, 8 assists for Luka. But I don't think he's going to go for like 60 or something. I don't know. What do you think, Russell?
I think I'm interested to see how Anthony Davis is going to do. What if Anthony Davis just comes out and changes the whole narrative of the game?
Makes it his night.
And makes it his night.
Yeah.
It's in his building now.
Sure.
So, like, I mean, he's only played there a couple of times, but still, it's his building now until further notice. What if he has like a 30 and 20 game? That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Also, like, for me personally, it's the first time I'm ever going to see LeBron in person, and probably the last time I'm ever going to see LeBron in person because I don't live on the West Coast. So
that's true.
This is very exciting for me. I'm just glad he's playing. It's the second night of a back-to-back, so it's shocking that he's even suiting up. So I'm looking forward to that.
I also feel like it'd be like the most LeBron thing ever for him to just drop like 40 points, 15 rebounds, and 8 assists and make it like the LeBron game where he just like made it about him. That's LeBron. That's what he does. And so I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. I'm just excited about this game. I can't wait to see what the atmosphere is like. So yeah, we'll see you in there.
Right down here. What's up, dude? What's up? All right, so this is what I was going to say before. So, at playoff games I've been to in Philadelphia, usually up here, there's not free shirts. Usually free shirts start like down here in this floor seating where we are here, and then these are usually the shirts. I've never seen shirts all the way in the cheapest possible seats. All these whites, these are not seats, these are shirts, which is incredible.
It's almost like these tickets are expensive as hell.
They were like, oh, let's take pity on you, get you a free shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
We got 43 minutes till tip off.
Still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave?
His sixth season for Gonzaga, number 28, Rui Hachimura.
Just got home. Crazy game.
Crazy game.
It was an amazing game. I enjoyed the experience, but it was a very unique experience. You're rocking the shirt from the game that they were handed out to everyone in attendance.
And the only people that will ever have it, or the people that were in
True.
attendance. It's got its name. It's it's got the date. It's this Slovenian writing, which will be on your screen. What does it translate to again?
Thank you for everything.
Yeah, pretty accurate.
Pretty straightforward.
And Luka definitely thanked the city of Dallas with 45 points tonight, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And it felt that way. But when we were driving down, and we got this on film, and you probably saw it before, but you were talking about, you were very interested to see what the crowd reaction was going to be like.
Yeah.
What did you think about that? What did you ultimately decide?
Yeah, it was just like I was curious to see what the split was between like people rooting for Luka and people rooting for the Mavericks. And in some cases, I think it was literally both.
Yeah.
I would have been interested to ask people and like maybe poll people to say like, what are you hoping the outcome is of this game? That Luka wins the game? That Luka scores 50 and Mavericks win the game?
Yeah.
Like that would have been really interesting. So I was really interested to see this dynamic because it was such a unique situation.
Right.
Normally, when a player leaves, and even when a player's traded, he's on the enemy side now.
Right.
But with Luka's case, he didn't want to leave Dallas. Dallas didn't want him to leave.
Right.
It was just one general manager with a really terrible idea. And so because of that, like the feeling's just mutual. The love is still mutual. And this is a fan base this morning. So when the game took place, I would say, at least when it came to jerseys, it might have been a slight edge, but it was pretty close to 50-50, genuinely, between like Lakers gear and Mavericks gear.
Definitely.
And, it was interesting because like when, probably like 30 minutes before tip-off, they're talking to the Mavericks local commentator, and he mentions that there's 3 different types of fans at the game.
Yeah.
He says Mavericks fans, and the crowd cheers a little bit.
Yeah.
He says Lakers fans, less cheering.
Yeah.
And then he says Luka's fans. And the crowd just erupts.
Massive pop.
Yeah.
Massive.
So rather than like, it was just weird. Like rather than just like a competitive game between 2 teams, it just felt like the Luka concert.
Yeah, it was probably one of the weirdest crowd reactions for LeBron. Like, I've never seen LeBron in person, which was very cool to see because he closed out the game in an awesome way.
Yeah.
But I wish I had been to more LeBron games because I got to imagine this was a weird reaction for him.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, usually when LeBron James comes to your town, that's like the biggest deal, right?
Sure.
And it didn't even feel that way. And then
he was an afterthought.
Yeah, and then speaking of an afterthought, you got Anthony Davis, who's also in this huge revenge game situation. This is the guy who won a championship for your team.
Mm-hmm.
And he's getting introduced, and in a moment where you would think the city of Dallas would rally behind their new guy, no pop. No pop at all. And pop means no crowd reaction, essentially. So very, very, like, golf clap.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt bad. You feel bad for the guy almost, like it is his own doing to a certain extent because he hasn't been available to, kind of as everyone expected. As I said on, well, no, I didn't say this on a podcast, but I said this to you. They shipped him in a box from LA that said fragile on it. So everybody kind of knew that like it was something that could happen, but him not being available has allowed Dallas to give him that golf clap and not like the big ovation to be like, we support our guy.
Yeah.
Which is it's another interesting, factor and dynamic into the game.
Yeah.
But I felt like this was a guy in Luka Doncic that loves this city of Dallas and really wanted to beat up the Dallas Mavericks for the city of Dallas. Like, that's what it felt like to me. It felt like a guy who was going in there and taking pride in kicking their ass tonight.
Yeah.
And the crowd was thrilled to see him do it. It was like, thank you, please beat us further. Like 40 points, yes, 45.
Well, yeah, based on where we were sitting, like I was seeing people in front of us, both in Mavericks jerseys and in Lakers jerseys,
Sure.
cheering for, you know, Derek Lively when he gets a dunk, and Luka Doncic when he buries a step back three.
Yeah.
Like they were cheering on both sides.
Yeah.
And so it is, I mean this with no disrespect at all, because if I was in this situation, on the losing end of the situation, I would feel this way too. But it feels like a very, very confused fan base. And one of the questions I've had is just where do you go from here? This might have been the closure that a lot of Mavericks fans felt like they needed.
Yeah.
To now just kind of like shut things off.
This is like such a bad breakup.
But it is. But like they know they're not going anywhere. And I don't know. I don't know. They know they're not going anywhere with it. I just don't know like where is the Mavericks fan to go from here?
I feel like that's not necessarily fair though. I think because on paper their roster is not horrible. Like they competed all night tonight. That's undeniable. And they didn't even have arguably their best player in Kyrie Irving. It depends on who you
But they're not gonna have Kyrie Irving again.
Yeah.
And so that is their roster.
Yeah.
Like this is their roster. I maybe it's just the Laker fan in me, who witnessed Anthony Davis playing as, the second man up, the Robin role, and wishing he'd take over and become that Batman forever and take a leadership role.
Yeah.
And he just did it.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I was like a little bit disappointed, but not surprised by how AD came out. Luka came out like he was ready for that 50-point revenge game.
Right.
Like he was gunning for it. He was aggressive offensively. He had a point to prove. And AD was just kind of there.
Yeah.
Like at a certain point, he started showing up and he started taking it to the post and he got some buckets.
Right.
But for a while, he was just complacent, shooting 3-pointers like I've seen him do many
a million times.
clinking many of them.
Yeah.
And I was just like frustrated because I'm like, hey man, this is kind of a big deal for you too.
Yeah.
Like
huge
show this Dallas crowd that you can start to let go of this guy because you're in town now.
Facts.
And
he did that game one.
And then we never saw it again. And this was really the moment he should have done it because now you're performing in front of this city.
Yeah.
While everybody's drooling over their ex, basically.
And in front of your big brother LeBron.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
It was a bad look because it was a close game, I think.
Sure.
And I think I predicted AD to have a 30 and 20 game. AD gets a 30 and 20 game. Lakers lose this game, 100%. It was not far enough apart to where a 30 and 20 would not have made the difference. Like I don't think I'm asking for something that's out of the realm of possibility with him.
Not with
which is always the frustration with Anthony Davis, which has always been the historic frustration with this guy. But going back to like the environment and just you were telling me for weeks that the environment was not like ideal down here. It wasn't. It was like sad. It was like sorrow. The clouds were plentiful, and for what it's worth, beautiful in Dallas, right? Beautiful all week. It's been beautiful. Yet at the arena, we're walking like 5 minutes past the arena, right? And we stop, and what do we see? A similar to a car that says "Wash Me," right? On the wall, written in dirt, it says "Fire Nico." Well, it says it says a different 4-letter F word, but
right.
but it's there. It'll be on your screen. And I literally looked at you and I was like, "Wow, and the whole crowd every 5 minutes."
Seriously,
5 minutes.
It felt like every time Luka was at the free throw line and every time a Dallas Maverick went to the free throw line, everybody's chanting just "Fire Nico" in unison. And Nico Harrison, in case you didn't know, was in attendance that night.
Yeah,
and they couldn't eject the whole stadium. They've ejected people in the past, but they couldn't eject the whole stadium. So it was an interesting game.
Yeah,
wild atmosphere. But it really, I don't know, kind of an awesome experience and some closure that I feel like a lot of Mavericks fans needed. Like,
Sure.
obviously, they're never going to get over this.
Sure.
There's certain things you just never get over.
Mhm.
You know, I've been spoiled to be a Lakers fan, and I've had many great memories. And I know things like the 2002, Western Conference Finals will always be sketchy on our end.
Yeah.
I'm still a fan of basketball, and there's still certain memories that are sour for me too.
Yeah.
Like getting Chris Paul for an hour just to have that ripped away from us.
Yeah.
This is something they're never going to let go of, just like every NBA fan has something that they're never going to let go of.
Yeah.
But I at least feel like they can sleep a little bit easier tonight, knowing that they saw Luka Doncic do his thing one last time.
100%.
He still has love for that city.
Yeah.
And so at least in a certain sense, it gave a little bit of closure. It was a really amazing game, and it's hard to say where Dallas goes from here. I mean, if it was me, it'd be hard to be engaged for a little while.
Speaking of letting go, right? Like, they're going to let go of this era. I take it back to where we started with this shirt, right? How valuable do you think this shirt's going to be in like 10 years? Like, think about it though, seriously.
How
They're
many
not
people
making
they got
another
attendance? Like 20,000 people.
Yeah.
So there's only 20,000 of those shirts.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
They're
part
not-
of my point.
They're not making another one, right?
Yeah.
We had a closeout LeBron game, right? Like a game
This
where
big LeBron game.
like a very good fourth quarter LeBron game. Some sweet moves around the basket. Like Luka ended up with 45. I don't know, man. I think we went to a really special performance. Or like a really special, unduplicable night. I think I said that right.
Sure, we'll roll with it.
Like basically never to be duplicated again. Like I really don't think, unless Jokic gets traded this summer, which is a totally different discussion for a different day.
Right.
I don't think we're seeing anything quite like this in the near future. It would take Jokic or Giannis being traded in the middle of the season, and that there's no universe that's happening for a reason. So
right, and that was the crazy thing. Like Luka's only 26 years old. Like
Mhm.
he turned 26 fairly recently,
Mhm.
and to see a young athlete that it was that beloved in a city, like they were appreciating him for the entire career that he gave him, and he's only in his mid 20s.
yeah,
Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
And that just tells us the special talent that we're dealing with. And so I think part of it depends on how successful Luka is from here on out.
right.
I saw like on highlight videos that I was watching, like the top comment, like Mavericks fans right now are like, a lot of them are just rooting for the Lakers to win the championship, specifically for Luka.
Sure.
So it's a weird time in Dallas, but ultimately it's a night they can remember. It's a night I think they desperately needed.
Yeah.
And
Despite the fact that they lost.
Despite the fact that they lost, that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about it was weird.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I think there's going to be a bunch of Mavericks fans in the comment section having very different takes on this whole thing.
Yeah, let us know for sure.
Yeah, which just goes even more to the point to where it's just kind of a confusing, emotional time.
Yeah.
But amazing game.
Yeah.
Glad we went.
Yeah.
I hope you guys have enjoyed this vlog.
Definitely.
It was a great experience. I don't know if I can justify $1,500 tickets.
Wow. Okay.
For
Interesting.
Well, it wasn't $1,500 each, but like between me and you,
Yeah.
and
I mean,
I wasn't going to do a vlog.
I can justify going.
You can justify
It
going.
was a lot of
I
fun.
wasn't going to
It's
do
a
a
fun
vlog for nosebleeds. Like
Yeah.
to me, that seems silly. Like
Yeah.
you got to be lower bowl,
Yeah.
and so that's what I did. And it, I don't think it would take like several hundreds of thousands of views, which I know this video is not going to get. Like it's
Yeah.
not that kind of video.
Prove this man wrong.
Like the video.
Don't let him do that. Like, definitely make sure that now he's.
I don't expect a return on the investment, but regardless, it was a wonderful memory.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we went. And I think everybody who did go is glad that they got to experience a signature Luka night, you know?
Dude, when I go home, I will look back at this night and I will say, I am so glad I got to see LeBron in person.
Mm-hmm.
I never saw him in person.
Yeah, it was like my third time for me.
Yeah. Oh, lucky you. Like, I've never seen him in person. I've watched him his whole career. Klay Thompson, I got to see him hit like a quasi clutch three in that middle like period
Yeah.
where that was kind of cool. Like
Mhm.
it was basically the only shot he seemed to hit all game, but like that was cool. He's the captain of the team now. He just got there. Anyway,
I know.
Uh,
That was jarring to hear him
Yeah,
referred to as the
super
captain.
jarring,
It was
right?
like, wow, how things have changed.
super jarring. Like out of nowhere, that guy was like. Anyways, so that was cool. Luka getting 45 was insanely cool. Like there were moments where it felt like Dallas was letting him get points, like in to an extent, like especially guys like Daniel Gafford who dominated in other ways.
Yeah,
that
they were
night.
having like a block party defensively, but
Yeah.
yet Luka, I mean, again,
Got to the rim with ease several times for his
you got to
little
give
play.
credit to some of Luka's craftiness
course,
with
of
his change of pace and ability to use others as screens and
Yeah.
that sort of thing. But yeah, it did feel like, man, this guy sure does get to the rim a lot easier than the rest of the Lakers.
Yeah, true. And not only that, those guys can pass, boy.
Yeah.
Those guys can pass the basketball. We saw a couple of crazy passes from Luka, and not all of them turned into assists, which we may not be able to find them when I run this back. But man, he really does. He must do magical stuff every night. He really does.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I got to see it at least once in my life. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah. So it was awesome. I don't know how many videos you guys are gonna do like we're gonna do like
Yeah,
this.
what do you guys?
No, how many
It's us.
videos like
We
this
gotta put
I'm
in the
gonna
work.
do in the future.
Yeah.
If you guys really like this, maybe I'll entertain the idea again. in the
Please,
future.
really like this. I'm begging you. Please, really. Johnny can't do this. I can do this because then I get to come for the ride, which is pretty cool.
All paid expenses. Yes, I'm sure you had a great time, Russell. Yes. But yeah, if this is something you guys are interested in, we might do this more in the future, and just more. It's not every night that you get a Luka return.
Never,
to Dallas.
dude. I never expected to be here. In all sincerity, like, thank you, man. Like,
You're welcome,
I really like. This is a night I'm going to tell my children about, most likely. Like, if they ever like basketball, they're probably going to learn about this moment in NBA history when the Dallas Mavericks traded away their franchise in the middle of the night. Yeah. And I'm going to go, and I went to the game where he returned.
Yeah.
It was an experience.
And just to be a little bit personal about it, like everybody remembers like LeBron returning to Cleveland for the first time.
Yeah.
And it being one of the most hostile atmospheres in NBA history.
Right.
My wife was genuinely worried that I was decked out in Laker gear heading to this game.
Yeah,
and I had told her, babe, I don't think you have to worry.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be that kind of atmosphere.
Yeah.
But even I didn't expect it to be the split that it was, where it was almost 50-50.
Yeah.
And everybody was completely unified in fire Nico.
Yeah.
And just love for Luka.
Yeah.
Like it felt like I said, it didn't even feel as much like a basketball game as much as it felt like a Luka Doncic concert.
Yeah.
And so I was glad I was a part of it because it's a unique point in history. And good job, Mavericks fans who were at the game for showing class, thanking Luka. And I think it was a great experience for everybody involved. And so it's never going to fully heal, but I think class was displayed both from Luka and from the fans. So it was cool. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more basketball content. And I'll see you guys in the next video.
Yes. I got to do it with him. It was cool.